Don't you ever feel like scared that like these people that run drug companies and these schools, you know, it's all a business. And it's like, are you scared that you will get so many powerful people upset?
Cardi, that's what I've been doing my whole life.
All right, guys, so this is Cardi and Bernie, and we're out here in Detroit at the Tent Nail Bar, because you know I love nails, you know what I'm saying? A couple of weeks ago, I asked my followers, what type of questions would you like to ask a Democratic candidate? Let's go, baby. And you know what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to advocate the youth in my community because I feel like there's a serious problem right now in America. We have this bully as a president, and the only way to take him out is somebody winning.
You know, we got to get rid of Donald Trump, obviously, because Donald Trump is an overt racist. He's way out there.
But right now, people are just not scared to show it.
Yes.
And we constantly see on social media police brutality against black men and against minorities. What are we going to do to change that? Because that is discouraging our people. We constantly see a man getting killed every day, and it seems like nobody cares, nobody's sympathizing, nobody's talking about it.
Well, obviously, we need to end all forms of racism in this country, from Donald Trump down to the local police department. We have something like 1 out of 4 young black men in this country end up in the criminal justice system. They may end up in jail, they may end up on parole, they may end up in probation, whatever it is. That is disgusting and beyond belief. Right. So, first thing we do is we make sure that young people in this country, black and Latino, Native American, whoever they may be, get the kind of education and job training they need so they can go out and get good jobs. We have to invest in jobs and education, not more jails and incarceration. Second of all, in terms of police brutality, if a police officer kills somebody, that killing must be investigated by the United States Department of Justice. Number 3, we at the federal level make sure, do everything that we can to make sure that police departments look like the communities that they serve, not like an oppressive army.
I don't want people thinking that we're trying to attack the police. Because let me tell you something. There was this one time that I started to feel like I hate the police. They pigs. But there's a lot of cops that go in their jobs and they want to protect their people.
That's right. So we need police departments that look like the communities that they serve. We get rid of a lot of this militarization of the police department, which is a form of intimidating people in the community.
There is a lot going on when it comes to the immigrants. It's a very tough situation. I met a fan in one of my concerts, and he was telling me how he's a dreamer, and he was approved by DACA and everything, and now he has to get deported to Mexico, to a country that he don't know nothing about. What are we going to do when it comes to the dreamers in this country?
Well, I'm going to make a promise to you, all right? Here it is. Trump ended the DACA program with an executive order. In the first week I'm president, we're going to reestablish and expand that DACA program. There are about 1.8 million young people who have only known the United States as their home. They may have never visited Mexico or any place else in their life. This is where they were raised. So what we do is we will reestablish the legal protections that the 1.8 million young people in this country today had under DACA. So they once again will have those protections, and I think we're going to expand that program to their parents as well.
Yeah. One of the popular questions are, how would it be possible to get free health insurance, free education, and how will our student loans will be forgiven? Because a lot of people think that it's impossible, and a lot of people don't want extreme socialism.
We are in Detroit, Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
If we go into Canada, what we find is that every man, woman, and child in that country has health care as a human right. So does the United Kingdom. So does Germany. So does Sweden, France, Norway, Denmark. Bottom line is, The current system works to make billions of dollars in profit for the insurance companies and the drug companies. That's its function. I want to change that.
People are just afraid to pay more taxes that they're already paying. So how do you think we could work around that?
Right now, the way we pay for health care is pretty complicated. Every month, there's a premium that you have to pay.
Yes.
And when you go to the doctor, you have to pay a co-payment. And often, you have to pay out of your own pocket because your insurance may not cover this or that procedure. And then you pay in taxes for Medicare, for Medicaid, and for the Veterans Administration. So people have to understand that. No more premiums, no more co-payments, no more deductibles. You go to any doctor you want. And you do pay more in taxes depending on your income. The overwhelming majority of the people will end up paying less than they're currently paying in healthcare. Their taxes will go up, but they're not going to be paying premiums, deductibles, co-payments.
Like, what are we going to do about wages in America?
Good.
Like, for example, like me as a New Yorker, not now, but, you know, when I was not famous, I just felt like no matter how many jobs I get, I wasn't able to make ends meet. Like, I wasn't able to pay my rent, get transportation, and eat.
That is an excellent and important question. Because right now, we have tens of millions of people who are earning what I consider to be starvation wages. Can you imagine somebody today earning $9 an hour?
It don't make no sense.
No, it doesn't. How do you pay your rent? How do you pay for food? How do you pay for transportation?
Right.
You can't. And if you have a child.
Yes. And my thing is that, you know, certain people like to brag that there is more jobs now in America, but it's like, yeah, there's an increase of jobs given, but what are they paying in these jobs? They're practically paying nothing.
You got it. That is exactly the issue. So you can get a job, but maybe you're going to have to work for 2 or 3 jobs.
Exactly.
Legislation that I've introduced, which was passed in the House recently, U.S. House, would raise that minimum wage to $15 an hour. And what we also have to do is make it easier for workers to join unions so they can sit down and engage in collective bargaining and earn a decent living.
Bernie, do you think it's going to be possible to eliminate student debt? Because so many people are suffering these things, and I feel like it discouraged the youth to go to school.
Cardi, you are 100% right. You got 45 million people in this country who have student debt. Do you believe that?
Yes.
45 million. You have young people, 25, 30, they were told, you got to go to college to go out and get a good job, right?
Yes.
So they went $50,000, $100,000 in debt. Number one, if you can get into college, if you have the ability, you should be able to get a college education regardless of your income, and we're going to make public colleges and universities tuition free. Second thing, to answer your question, we are going to cancel all student debt in America. Now, how can we do that? We're going to do all of that by putting a very modest tax on Wall Street speculation.
I want to tell my millions of followers, we're here to educate you guys. I hope your questions have been answered. And let's just get more educated. Please, let's put our focus on these terms elections, because I don't think people understand how serious it is.
Cardi, can I just say one thing before we get off? A lot of people moan and groan, right? They don't like Donald Trump. They don't like the low wages. They don't like spending 50% of their income in housing. They don't like student debt. They don't like the fact they can't go to college. But all of that moaning and groaning and complaining doesn't mean anything unless we change the system, okay? Young people have got to get involved in the political process. Register to vote. It is not hard. It takes you 5 minutes. Register to vote. Trump does not want people of color to be participating in the political process. Participate in the political process. And then think about who the candidate is that is speaking the issues that are important to you, and then vote. If we have young people voting in large numbers, you know what? I have zero doubt but that Donald Trump will be defeated.
But thank you so much, Bernie.
Thank you so much.
Let's feel the burn.